And now we will move on to the winners of our Silurians 2016 Excellence in Journalism Awards for exemplary coverage in 2015. As I call your name, winners of the medallions, come up to this side. Winners of the finalists, please come up to this side of the stage to receive your awards from our awards co-chairs, Ralph Blumenthal, Michael Serrill, and this time we will just move straight through it, but we have a lot of good material here. And our first award is for covering breaking news in newspapers, news services, and online. The winner of the Silurian medallion is Andrew Tangle for his stories on the Metro North crash in the Wall Street Journal. A wide-ranging tour de force on the crash and its after effects. It is old-fashioned journalism at its very best, from gathering quotes and information to recreating the horrific scene with a compelling narrative. Andrew, are you in the house? Come on up here. Well done. Congratulations. The Merit Certificate for breaking news in newspapers, news services, and online goes to, and please come up, Pervez Shalwani, Rebecca Davis O'Brien, and Andrew Grossman, also of the Wall Street Journal, for their reporting on an ISIS plot uncovered in Brooklyn. Congratulations to the team. Some formerly of the Record. The medallion winner for the best feature story in newspapers, news services, or online goes to N.R. Sonny Kleinfeld of the New York Times for his story, The Lonely Death of George Bell. I couldn't put it down. It was an incredible story. In the blur of humanity that is New York, hundreds of people grow old and die alone without relatives or friends to mourn them. Sonny Kleinfeld tells the story of one such solitary death, that of George Bell, a retired moving man found expired in his cluttered Queens apartment with $540,000 in bank accounts. Piecing together the clues like a detective story, Kleinfeld recreated Bell's death and life. An amazing piece of journalism. Congratulations. The Merit Certificate for feature writing in newspapers goes to Gus Garcia-Roberts of Newsday for his story, The 7th Precinct versus Jack Franqui, when 26-year-old Franqui, facing misdemeanor charges, hanged himself in a holding cell at the Suffolk County Police Department in January 2013. The public was told little, and almost all of it false. Combing through hundreds of pages of previously unexamined documents, Garcia-Roberts exposed Franqui's disturbed history and desperate final hours as he begged for medical attention and threatened suicide while officers seated nearby ignored him and later covered up their inaction. Congratulations for excellent work. Is he here? Wonderful Merit Award. Congratulations. Next is the Medallion for Investigative Reporting and Public Service. It goes to Kim Barker of the New York Times for her story, Profiting from Addiction. Barker exposed a virtually unregulated housing netherworld of so-called three-quarter homes that exploited thousands of desperate men and women recovering from addiction or with nowhere to go. She profiled several residents of homes controlled by an unscrupulous businessman, Yuri Baumblit, who allegedly profited from kickbacks and lured addicts into relapsing. so that he could cash in on their participation in substance abuse programs. Barker's report had impact. Mayor de Blasio set up a task force, and prosecutors filed criminal charges against Baumblit. To top it off, a reader from Atlanta recognized her long-lost mentally ill brother and was reunited with him. Very fine work. The Merit Certificate for Investigative and Public Service Reporting goes to a team from Newsday: Denise Bonilla, Carl McGowan, Maura McDermott, and Dion Hampton. Their series, Zombie Houses, disclosed a facet of the mortgage crisis that has been underreported, what they call an epidemic of blighted, abandoned houses that has seriously damaged neighborhoods and property values in many communities on Long Island. The solid reportage, data analysis, and interactive map made for a powerful original presentation that provided a valuable public service. Congratulations. In the category of business and finance reporting, the medallion winner is Charles Levinson of Reuters for Wall Street's Way. This penetrating, deeply reported series of articles goes behind the scenes of Wall Street's efforts to weaken securities regulation, shines new light on the revolving door between government regulators and the securities industry, and shows how the accounting industry stymied auditing reforms. Charles Levinson of Reuters. Very fine work. It's exciting to see this really good quality work out there and having results. Congratulations. Thank you. The Merit Certificate in Business and Financial Reporting goes to Ann Marsh of the magazine Financial Planning for her in-depth investigation into the practices of the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. She questions whether the self-regulating agency properly protects investors from abuses by brokers. We have a second Merit Certificate in Business and Financial Reporting. Just a lot of good entries this year. And that goes to the aforementioned Sean Boberg of The Record for The Chairman's Flight. Boberg's relentless reporting uncovered the scandal surrounding a sweetheart deal between United Airlines and the Port Authority that led to the resignation of the airline's CEO, the head of the authority, and New Jersey's Transportation Commissioner. Congratulations, Sean Boberg. Accepting for Sean a familiar face. His editor. Science and health reporting is our next category. The medallion goes to The Record's Lindy Washburn for After the Miracle. Come on up here, Lindy. In 3 meticulously researched, masterfully crafted stories, Washburn explores in highly personal and touching detail how a series of modern-day medical miracles, deep brain stimulation to quell the tremors of Parkinson's disease, surgery to nip potentially lethal brain aneurysms, and immunotherapy for the deadliest form of brain cancer profoundly altered the lives, both clinically and emotionally, of patients who benefited from them. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Now on to arts and culture. The winner of the medallion is Laura Jacobs of Vanity Fair for Balanchine's Christmas Miracle. This story is a fresh look at an artistic genius, choreographer George Balanchine. Jacobs highlights Balanchine's lifelong emotional attachment to the Nutcracker, which began in his boyhood at the Mariinsky Theater in Russia. It also sheds light on the creation of New York City Ballet and its evolution from generation to generation, always buoyed by the dancer's deep appreciation and affection for Balanchine. Congratulations. And now, in an unusual decision, our judges decided to award a second medallion in arts and culture reporting, with the prize also going to Vanity Fair for Bob Colacello's Might at the Met, written in advance of the opening of the Met Breuer, a new branch of New York's Metropolitan Museum. Bob Colacello's article is a deeply reported, sophisticated, and well-timed analysis of the Met's growing interest in modern and contemporary art. By connecting the dots behind a series of developments that led up to the Breuer, Colacello presents a unique overview of how the collections, boards, and new building projects of MoMA, the Met, and the Whitney are now irrevocably intertwined. And accepting for Bob. Thank you very much. Not Bob, but for Vanity Fair. The medallion for commentary and editorials goes to Silurian member Susan Antilla for columns written for TheStreet.com. Susan, come on up here. Watch what Wall Street does, not what it says. Antilla enjoys her readers, and heeding her own counsel, she does just that in a string of columns built on solid reporting and trenchant analysis that expose the duplicitous practices unscrupulous stockbrokers employ to intentionally mislead and ultimately fleece their clients. Well done. Thank you, Susan. The Merit Award for Commentary and Editorials goes to The Record for editorials by Alfred P. Doblin. Doblin editorials offer readers keen-eyed perspective on a broad swath of local issues, always with clarity, reason, and a strong sense of decency. His sharply critical examination of a proposed deal to build a new Hudson River tunnel is an example, as is his artful takedown of a Republican congressman's opposition to the party running gay candidates. Fine writing, Alfred Doblin. Thank you. Congratulations. We now turn to sports reporting. The medallion for the best sports story in newspapers, news services, or online goes to Jim Baumbach of Newsday. Jim is here. Come on up. In his story, headlined Hard Knocks, you feel the pain as he discusses one of the most important issues in sports, concussions. Well done. Finely exposed work. Thank you. Newsday also wins the award for the best sports photograph. The paper's J. Conrad Williams Jr. captured the beauty and drama as the fabulous racehorse American Pharoah took the Belmont Stakes and the first Triple Crown since 1978. It's in the Silurian News there, underscoring the challenge of photographing horse races. Williams and his camera were 50 feet apart when he took the winning photos. He set it just above ground level on the track, determined the correct angle, connected it by wire to a foot pedal, then pressed the pedal from a photographer's riser near the finish line. A little guesswork and 30 years experience produced a classic. Congratulations. Now we turn to the other photography awards. The medallion for the best breaking news photo in newspapers, news services, or wire services goes to the Journal News and photographers Albert Conti, Frank Becerra Jr., Seth Harrison, and Carucha El Muse for their coverage of the Metro North crash in Valhalla. Come on up here, folks. Conti. Take a picture. Take a picture.
Wait, keep smiling.
All right. Conti, a photo assistant at the Journal News, was off duty on February 3rd, 2015, when he got word that a commuter train had struck a car, resulting in a fire and explosion. A volunteer fireman, Conti was one of the first on the scene. After helping with rescue operations, he used his iPhone to take pictures and email them to the newsroom. Staff photographers Becerra, Harrison, and Muse soon joined him, resulting in an outstanding package of photographs that were used in newspapers and TV stations around the country. Fine work, congratulations. Thank you. The Merit Certificate for Best Breaking News Photography goes to The Record and Tarak Zahawi for his photo package called A Driver's Remorse, looking beyond the obvious when he photographed the aftermath of a fatal accident in which a truck struck a car. Zahawi focused instead on the revealing moment when the truck driver, overcome by what had happened, suddenly fell to his knees in grief in the middle of the street. An amazing photograph. Thank you. Congratulations. The medallion for feature photography goes to Newsday's Thomas A. Ferrara for Dunia's Smile. 8-year-old Dunia Sibomana had his face ripped apart in an attack by chimpanzees in his native Congo in 2013. But he is still able to smile thanks to rare and complicated facial reconstructive surgery at Stony Brook University Hospital, captured by Ferrara in a series of photographs. As Dunia shares a laugh with Jennifer Crean, whose family has been hosting the boy since he was brought to the U.S. by the Smile Rescue Fund for Kids. He is a portrait of hope. It's in the Silurian News. It's an amazing photograph. Congratulations. And the Merit Award for Feature Photography goes to The Record's Kevin Wexler for Daddy's Home. All the emotions of greeting a soldier safely home from war in the Middle East are vividly displayed in the face of Marie Guman of Vernon, New Jersey, as she hugs her son, Sergeant Jesse de la Cruza, at a Jersey City armory where families had gathered for reunions with their loved ones. Fine, fine work. Congratulations, Kevin Wexler. Accepting for Kevin. Okay. Now we come to the magazine feature writing. The medallion goes to Max Abelson of Bloomberg Business Week for How Trump Invented Trump. Abelson delves into the uniquely New York world of the leading Republican candidate, profiling the people who work for him. His chief operating officer is his former bodyguard, challenging his claims of business success and showing how he turns everything he does into some kind of victory. In-depth reporting that we really like to see. Well done. Congratulations. The Merit Certificate for Magazine Feature Writing goes to Vanity Fair for Pope Francis at Ground Zero by Paul Ely. In this brief essay, Ely uses the Pope's visit to the 9/11 memorial to reflect on the importance to New York of this sacred ground and on how even the Holy Father visits the site more as a pilgrim than as a leader of the church. The visit makes clear that even in an apparently secular city, people still conceive of grief and loss in frankly religious terms. A wonderful piece. Thank you. The medallion for investigative and public service reporting in magazines goes to Zeke Fox of Bloomberg News for his story, Loan Sharks, how two guys from Brooklyn lost God and found 40 million. Fox takes us on a journey into the world of unscrupulous online predatory lending, featuring two young boiler room promoters who provide unregulated, ultra-high-interest loans to people with shaky credit. Living in Puerto Rico as tax exiles after collecting more than 40 million for selling their business, Pearl Capital, they tell a tale that questions the sometimes slim difference between the practices of boiler rooms and Main Street, Wall Street firms such as Goldman Sachs, which offered to buy their company. Well, well, well done. Congratulations. Now on to television, where the medallion for feature reporting goes to WNET's Metro Focus and its story on the restoration of Brooklyn's World War II memorial. For more than 60 years, the Brooklyn War Memorial, a granite and limestone memorial to more than 11,000 Brooklynites who died in combat during World War II, has gathered dust in Cadman Park, rarely visited and in a deteriorated state. Metro Focus recounts the efforts being made by veterans, legislators, and the New York City Parks Commission to repair and upgrade the memorial. Dave Brown and Diane Mashali were executive producers, while local production was by Sean McGinn. Jack Ford was the host. Congratulations. Nice to have a new local news operation and television around, too. The medallion for investigative and public service reporting on television goes to News 12 New Jersey for the oil changers. Reporter Walt Kane and his team expose the pervasive use by oil change establishments of substandard oil that could cause severe damage to cars. Their three-part series also reveals that New Jersey's weights and measures rules governing motor oil have never been enforced. The state is now complying. I think our radio people didn't make it tonight either, but we do have for a medallion for best feature and public service reporting to 1010 Wins for its coverage of a March 2015 gas explosion that ripped through 4 buildings in the East Village, leveling 3 of them and leaving a total of 19 people injured. 1010 Wins reporters were among the first at the scene, with live coverage of the firefighting, press conferences by the city officials, and neighborhood reaction. Wins updated its listeners every 10 minutes, allowing them to stay as close to the events as possible. But I don't think they could make it tonight, and we will see that they get the award. 1010 Wins, well done. Now then, this is kind of an interesting point. For our final awards, we decided there was so much excellent investigative reporting going on online that we created a separate category for it. The winner is NorthJersey.com, the online channel of The Record. The story, In Heroin's Grip, brings home to readers and online viewers the savagery the drug epidemic is wreaking on northern New Jersey. The reporters and photographers drag us into the drug world by finding people who have lost their jobs, their health, homes, and families, and were willing to share those experiences. The Record staff explored how the damage from heroin costs communities dearly and goes way beyond the toll that it takes on addicts themselves. The combination of print, video, interactive maps, and graphics was produced by a team led by Digital Projects editor Michael Pettigano. Rebecca O'Brien was the reporter, Thomas Franklin the videographer, and Tyson Trish the photographer. Congratulations. And we have a merit certificate. Yes, congratulations. You were part of this team. Good to see you again. All right. The merit certificate for online investigative public service reporting goes to a website called DNA Info for its probe into the murder of a woman named Gail Mark. The reporters were Murray Weiss and James Finelli. Come on up here. Before being murdered in Manhattan in 1982, 28-year-old Gail Mark was convinced that her husband wanted to kill her. He was a suspect but was never charged. The case went cold for 33 years until Weiss and Finelli uncovered new witnesses and discovered a clue in a civil case filed by the victim's sister-in-law. They raised enough new questions that the New York City Police Department and the Manhattan District Attorney have started a new criminal investigation. Nice work. Congratulations. So it's all about truth, justice, and the American way, right? That is what we are celebrating, and that is our evening. Congratulations to all of you awardees. We hope those of you who have been reporting a few years will consider joining us, Silurians. Check us out, read the Silurian news, and check out the website, www.silurians.org. There are some really good people in this organization. Members, I want you to note our next event will be our June lunch on Wednesday the 15th at noon, next door at the National Arts Club. We've got Sri Srinivasan, formerly of Columbia J School. He now heads digital media for the Metropolitan Museum of Art. He's going to talk to us about what he's up to there, which is using the media to talk about art. It's a nice way for us to slip into the summer vacation mode. I want to say a special thanks to Ralph Blumenthal, Michael Serrill, who ran the awards program, Myron Candell, who helped with getting all the medallions done, Claire Regan, Claire back there, she designed and created the beautiful certificates, all the board members, many, and other members, other Silurians who were the judges, and also to Mary Barnes. Mary down here was our intern helping us with the awards, making a lot of calls, getting it all work. And especially Wendy Slight, who was our dinner chair, who pulled us all together. We wish you all a safe home, a good night, and go out and do more good work, and we will see you here again next year.